And this is the big one we're following. September's return to the classroom could look different once again, despite mass vaccination efforts. The provincial government now says all schools will be offering an online learning option for the entire year.
What we heard in the consultation absolutely clearly is that parents want that choice for this September because we're unsure of where this pandemic will take us.
Students will be able to opt to take all of their classes online starting in September. More information is expected to come in the months to follow. Now, when it comes to whether students could return to classrooms this school year, the education minister not saying a whole lot.
We're going to follow the advice of the Chief Medical Officer of Health, but as it looks today, the province faces real challenges. High rates of community-based transmission, ICU capacity that is really stressing our hospitals, and we continue to have root causes not being solved.
The Ford government says it will spend a total of $25.6 billion on Ontario's education system next year, which is up 2.2% over this year. Meantime, the NDP criticizing the move, saying the province should focus on investments that would allow students to safely return in person.
Right now, what I want to hear from the government is not, well, we're going to put all their kids into permanent online learning classrooms, that this is the new normal. We want to hear how you're going to make our classrooms safe and supportive for our students.
And the announcement comes just as the Premier wrapping up his 14-day self-isolation period after being exposed to COVID-19 by a staffer last month. It's unclear yet if he will be returning to Queen's Park today. Okay, so we now know how many cases have been reported after a COVID-19 outbreak in one of the federal government's quarantine hotels. Toronto Public Health saying 13 cases linked to staff at the Crowne Plaza Hotel near Pearson Airport. Health officials say the risk to the public is very low. No word yet if this business will be forced to shut down. Now, the city has the power to close any business with 5 or more cases of COVID-19. Amazon distribution centers hit with partial closures in Peel region will be seeing workplace vaccine clinics set up at their sites today. And these clinics will be open to employees at both the Brampton and Bolton locations. Peel recently shutting down a third Amazon distribution center in Brampton. The 2 other sites that are already partially shut down will remain closed for 10 days. A second team of medical volunteers from Newfoundland and Labrador arriving in Ontario, ready to help the province's healthcare system that has been strained in this latest wave. And touching down at Pearson, the medical team consisting of 3 doctors and 4 nurses. The group will be providing medical assistance to Peel region, a COVID hotspot in the province.
We've been assigned to Brampton Civic Hospital to provide supportive care in their COVID unit. And that's something that Eastern Health would have asked me and other surgeons to do. So providing supportive care to a group that hasn't had a break for a long time, I think it means a lot.
This is the second team that has been deployed to Ontario. The first group from the Maritimes arriving last week and are currently working in Toronto hospitals. All right, let's bring you to a live look right now at Woodbine Racetrack, and this is where a pop-up vaccine clinic opening to the Rexdale community for 3 days. This site opens up at 10 this morning until 8 or until supply runs out. So anyone who's 18 and older living in the M9V and M9W neighborhood, you can get your shot here. No appointment is necessary. 2,400 shots will be administered per day. Let's bring you back to Queen's Park. Tensions rising as Ontario's long-term care minister fires back at the opposition that has been calling for her resignation following a damning long-term care report that was recently released.
When did she know that seniors in long-term care homes in Ontario were dying of neglect?
The premise of your question is bordering on obscene.
Now, opposition and journalists have been pressing for answers following this released report, but Fullerton has been pretty much unavailable for questions for the past 2 days and actually cut that press conference that you're seeing here short in recent days. All right, let's get back to vaccines now. Today, we're going to be watching out for a massive vaccine shipment of 1 million Moderna doses coming a week earlier than expected. So this footage that was shot last week, it will be a similar sight when the new haul does arrive. Moderna deliveries ramping up in recent weeks after months of delays because of production issues. Canada's procurement minister says that she has been in talks with Moderna to solidify a more regular schedule moving forward. And with more vaccines rolling out in the U.S., businesses are betting big time on the return of entertainment. So we're going to talk about Las Vegas preparing for their summer tourism boom. Mike Epple, he's next.